Hey everyone, Matt here from Audio-Technica, and today we're going to be taking a look at the latest addition to the legendary 20 series lineup, the AT2040 Hypercardioid dynamic podcasting microphone. So I never thought I'd be getting this excited over a microphone release before, but hey, here I am. If you couldn't already tell, the AT2040 gets its design inspiration from the broadcast BP40 microphone. However, because it's in the 20 series lineup, it's much more in the same class as our AT2020 home recording microphone, and it comes in at a much more accessible price point. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's open up the box and the microphone and take a little look at what's inside. All right, so here we just have all our documentation and our user manual. All right, here we have the AT2040 itself. And here's our protective pouch. And in here, we've got our threaded stand adapter. Now that we've opened up the box, let's take a look at what the AT2040 is, and then we're going to set it up and give it a proper test. So I mentioned that the AT2040 is a hypercardioid dynamic podcasting microphone, and that's in reference to the microphone's polar pattern and its type. But what does that actually mean for you? Well, it means that the AT2040 is going to offer you fantastic sound rejection from both the sides and the rear of the microphone, which means you can use the AT2040 in untreated environments and still get fantastic results. This means that the AT2040 is great for recording and using in environments where you can't really control your external sound sources. It's fantastic for live streaming, and the reason is because provided it's positioned correctly, the AT2040 is going to do a great job of blocking out any type of keyboard noises from underneath, your computer fan or air conditioner fan coming from the sides and top of you, and do a great job of blocking out external noises from outside of your room. That means that setting up the AT2040 is super easy and a dream to work with in post-production. As the name suggests, the AT2040 is a fantastic podcasting microphone, especially when it's used in a group setting. This means you can have multiple AT2040s used in relatively close proximity to each other, and you don't have to worry about your voice getting picked up by anyone else's microphone. Now that we know what the AT2040 is, let's open it up and have a little look inside. We can actually see the capsule itself, as well as get a pretty good idea of how that internal shock mount operates. Now that's used to minimize any noises from vibrations on your desk traveling up your boom arms and into the recording itself. But what's just as important as all that is the grill. So the great thing about this grill is that there is an internal pop filter that goes all the way around the inside. And this is done to protect the capsule. But there's also an additional layer of protective foam at the very end, and that's designed to stop any unnecessary popping noises from coming through during recordings. With setting up a dynamic microphone, the type of stand you use, as well as its positioning, really impacts the final product of your broadcast or recording. Today we're going to be using two different types of stands with the 2040, a generic broadcast boom and a desktop tripod stand. That way we can set it up in two different ways, and you can get a really good idea of how to get the best quality recording out of your 2040. Mounting the AT2040 is super easy, and the only thing you need to worry about is whether or not you need to use the included threaded stand adapter. The boom we're using has a smaller thread, so simply screw the adapter into the AT2040 and then directly onto the boom. And for this tripod, all we need to do is screw the mic directly onto the stand. So microphone positioning is always really important, especially when you're working with something as directional as the AT2040. The positioning of the microphone is always going to greatly impact the quality of your final recording and will also help to block out external noises. A good rule is to always start from about 10 centimeters away from your face. From there you can move the microphone closer or further away, as well as yourself, and really find that sweet spot. The important thing is with this phase of testing is to keep doing it. Keep trying, get louder and softer, move around the microphone and find the spot that's going to work best for you. Something like a boom arm makes this really easy because you can move the microphone around itself and you have plenty of adjustments to get to your final position. So I'm happy with how I've got the AT2040 set up at the moment, and it's really similar to how I like to have it when I'm recording with it at home. So now let's hear how it sounds. So this is me talking directly into the AT2040. We've just got it directly into a mixer with nothing else going on, so you can hear exactly how it sounds in a pretty open room in a normal sort of recording environment. Now, as I start to move myself around the microphone, you can see how much it changes and how much of my noise it blocks out, especially some of those lower bassier frequencies. This means that we know what kind of frequencies to remove in post, and it makes the whole process a lot easier when using something so directional like the 2040. So now that we're done with our little test of the AT2040, we've actually recorded an entire podcast episode with a bunch of us using AT2040s all gathered around in pretty close proximity around a table. So let's listen to that to hear how it sounds in a full podcast setting.
There's that Sintra sausage.
Yeah.
The gabagool.
Like, oh, the gabagool. I was been waiting for one the whole day. But yeah, it's definitely that man from the news that was like, when he came over and he was like, oh. But as an actual big wolf. That man is reference of the day now, right there. I think we go through the church into the back end of the castle, work our way through. It just so happens as well. Where's my thing? I got a blessing from, just so happens to be potentially the priest that used to work there many eons ago. That
so you were cashing in another favor, is that?
Am I? Do I want to cash in all my chips now to make us? No, let's try and charm our way through the priest.
Sure.
So now you guys should have a pretty good idea of how the AT2040 sounds, as well as how this type of microphone operates, so you should know exactly what to expect when you bring one home. If anyone has any questions at all, please drop them in the comments below or hit up your local Audio-Technica territory directly and we'll be happy to help. We're all really looking forward to hearing how you guys sound using the AT2040, and I'll see you all next time.